Hi, welcome to Pumapunku. My name is Omar, and I will show you one of the most interesting part of this trip. In this case, in Pumapunku, we can appreciate these wonderful gates that are similar to the Sun Gate in the other side of Tiwanaku. As we can see the precision of the cuttings, we can see the rest of platforms weighing more than 100 tons, and we can see the famous H blocks that we can see there. So it's interesting to appreciate this wonderful building of Tiwanaku.
This huge gate-like structure was used to be standing, probably the gate for the Pumapunku pyramid. So there's a gate to enter the pyramid. So this is a very sacred place. This is the Pumapunku. This is the H-shaped gate rocks for Pumapunku pyramid. This is a precisely cut technology, like a diamond cut technology. This is a very mysterious place. No one knows who built this, how long ago. So many mysteries here, but it's so beautiful place to visit. I feel lots of energy here. This is Pumapunku. Why? Here, Pumapunku H-shaped rock. Wow! Look at this. This is very precise precision technology. H-shaped technology. All of this cut precisely. Wow, so interesting here. This is another stone. Look at this. Wow, precisely cut technology. It's unbelievable. This is a book. Different shape of rock. That's something I have never seen in the world. So interesting. I wonder which civilization is older, Sumerian civilization or Pumapunku, Tiwanaku. I found some similarities. I don't know who developed this Tiwanaku Pumapunku civilization. I'm not really sure who developed Sumerian civilization. Maybe the same ancestor gods or even aliens developed these ancient civilizations with ancient technology. So, in a sense, I could believe the ancient astronaut theory. There may be aliens visited here. They built a temple like a ziggurat, and then they built a Pumapunku. This could be the alien space shuttle launch pod. They landed here and they took off here. For some reasons, aliens visited here. They may have to repair the ship or just visited here and then just flew away from the Earth. And then we have just remains here. So this Pumapunku is very much related to ancient history. Maybe perhaps alien history too. So I'm so excited to be here finally. Thank you very much.
In this case, we can appreciate the way how they used to join the blocks using clamps, the arsenic copper clamps. In this case, these clamps, it was a combination of copper, arsenic, and nickel, and we can appreciate the shape of the clamp that they used to join the blocks. Even these spaces that was for to put other block, it doesn't move, right? We can appreciate here the perfect cutting. We can touch the surface, it's totally flat, and we can see this line here and with teeny holes there. According to the archaeologists, in this case, these holes, it was for incrustation, gold incrustations. The Tiwanakus, they used to decorate their works with gold plaques. This is the reason why we can see these holes here, but it's difficult to imagine how they perforate these stones. We need a diamond point to do it, and we need to think about the time. In Tiwanaku, in all the excavations, we couldn't find tools that help us to know how they made it. Gold plaques. The gold, it was considered the tears of the sun. With the rays of the sun, it had to be brilliant. So this is the reason why we can see many holes in different stones in Tiwanaku. It was for gold incrustations. The archaeologists, they found the rest of minerals of gold into these holes, the perforations.
Oh, this stone has a miraculously straight line all the way down. How is this possible to cut straight? Oh, with Asian technology. On top of that, there are holes on all of these, all the way down. This is perforation I used for decorating gold. Maybe gold is important for this religion, whatever. But whatever the technology was at that time, I cannot believe how those people made this stone. What is this hole? Can I put my hand here?
No, but it's a megaphone.
Megaphone.
Megaphone, yes.
Megaphone. Whoa, whoa, Pumapunku. Hello, ¿cómo está? Like this?
Yes, exactly. This is the way how you can amplify your voice.
Wow, very clever.
Yeah. Many shapes. It was part of the structure of the top of the pyramid of Pumapunku. We can appreciate there are not only bricks, different shape of blocks is something like a Lego, like a puzzle. We need to try to find different blocks to join with other ones. So this is the most interesting part of Pumapunku, the different shape of blocks that we can see here and the perfect lines and cuttings that we can see about the structure of this pyramid.
So what's the purpose of this structure?
It was aesthetic. The Tiwanakus, they have more knowledge and they wanted to start to represent a new level of architect, to start to change the shape of blocks, creating one, in this case, one temple with different aesthetic figures.
Where is the temple?
The temple was here. We can see the
Here.
rest of the temple. Unfortunately, this temple, the Tiwanakus, they suffer a cataclysm, earthquakes.
Oh.
This is the reason why the rest of these blocks are broken. In this case, we can see fragments. It's difficult, probably impossible, to reconstruct this pyramid or this part of the pyramid. Important detail about Tiwanaku. We can appreciate the shape of these crosses. The name of these crosses are chacanas. Those chacanas are representing, in this case, the astronomy, because the steps that we can see here are representing and have relation with the moon rotation or sun rotation. We can see chacanas, the Andes cross, with more steps or less steps. All of them, they have relation with astronomy. Some of them are representing a sun calendar, and some of them are representing a one complete rotation of the moon.
I can see chacanas, cross, also precisely cut. This one too. This cross is closely related to astronomy. Yes, it's very difficult to understand how it is related to astronomy. But ancient people had some knowledge of stars and the constellations. This cross may signify something very important.
In this case, the blocks that we can see here are weighing more than 80 tons. The quarries of the red sandstone are around 20 kilometers from here. The quarries of the andesites that we can see there, the block here, is coming around 60 kilometers from here. But nobody knows exactly how they move these blocks. I'm talking about 20 kilometers and 60 kilometers, the distance from Tiwanaku to the quarries.
Yeah, no trees here. It's not possible to carry on the trees.
The trees, if we use trees, the trees can be mashed with the weight of this stuff.
So there's an alien technology?
We have different theories, but in this case, this is the mystery of Tiwanaku. Nobody knows exactly how they move these blocks. The spaces that we can see in the blocks, the Tiwanakus, they used to fill water there. They used to create an artificial meadows for ceremonies and rituals. So this block, it was part of the central part of the ceremony where Tiwanakus, they used to fill these areas with water.
So why there are two squares and one round?
In this case, it was part of the rituals. The figures that we can see there, it was creating, in this case, that have something that have relation with astronomy.
Oh, astronomy!
The astronomy is very important in Tiwanaku. As you can see in the carvings in this block, the carving that we can see there, it's representing the shape of the pyramids in Tiwanaku, but looking from the sky. We can see this shape only looking from the sky, the shape of the pyramids of Acapana or Pumapunku. They have this shape that we can see in the carving.
So pyramids like a ziggurat with steps.
Exactly.
It's similar to Sumerian civilization.
It's very similar, very similar. But these carvings, it's very common in Tiwanaku, are representing the pyramids. And if you can see these carvings in other parts, like in Peru, for example, in San Pedro de Atacama, this is the influence of Tiwanaku.
Oh, because Tiwanaku is a pre-Inca civilization.
Culture, and the Tiwanakus, they had an expansive time as well. So in this case, it's very easy to recognize the influence of Tiwanaku looking these carvings. If you can see something like this in other part, in other country, it's part of the influence of Tiwanaku. As you can see here, these wonderful H blocks, we have one theory. It's very interesting to know here that the Tiwanakus, they couldn't finish the construction of this pyramid. What happened? They were working here. As you can see here, this H block is finished, but this one is unfinished. Another detail, as you can see in this part, the carving is finished here and it's polished. But the other one is down here, the carving is unfinished. The polish is not finished as well. So what happened? They were working here. Something happened and they have to abandon the work here. Pumapunku, they couldn't finish the construction of this pyramid. Probably the weather changed in that time. The dry seasons, cataclysms, earthquakes. The Tiwanakus, they have to abandon this place. Pumapunku couldn't be totally finished the construction. They were working here, but we can see some blocks are unfinished. This is very important.
So maybe epidemics, pandemics, people had to escape.
Yes,
Yeah.
epidemics, probably the weather change, the dry seasons. Probably, according to the archaeologists, the Tiwanaku suffered a flood. It was raining and many days. So in this case, everything, the global change, so they have to move, they have to migrate, they have to try to survive in other places. The system of the Tiwanakus create in one specific time, it collapsed.
Oh, is it time of Noah's Ark or Ice Age or not that old?
It probably, there are different theories about how old is Tiwanaku. Nobody knows exactly how old is Tiwanaku. The conventional archaeologists, they talk about that Tiwanaku started around 1,500 years before Christ. But according to other archaeologists, Tiwanaku can be older. Artur Posnansky, he said that Tiwanaku started around 12,000 years ago. So this is one of the very interesting theories, and probably we are sure that Tiwanaku is older than the conventional archaeologists accept in the world.
Oh, if Tiwanaku is 12,000 years ago, it's same as Göbekli Tepe in Turkey is also 12,000 years old. Yeah, because I see some similarities as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Why there are so many H-shaped stones, rocks here?
In this case, the shape that we can see, these H blocks, it's part of the coincidence that we can see with the letter H in actual alphabet. But in this case, the Tiwanakus, they were building this temple. They wanted to represent the aesthetic of this construction with different shapes of blocks. In this case, the blocks that they have the shape of H, it was representing the quadrangular, rectangular aesthetic of this construction. But it's only a coincidence that we can see the H about the shape of the block. It's more important the aesthetic that they wanted to represent building this part of the temple.
Yes, in those days there was no H probably.
No H. It can be called maybe other thing.
Yes.
But for us, it's like the H. So this is the reason now actually it's known as H block. Probably it has a different name in the Tiwanaku time. The archaeologists, they were working in one excavation. This is part of the last excavations in Tiwanaku. We can see many blocks in this case with many holes as well. But we can see this block, for example, here. It was part of the hydraulic system, canals. As you can see, the water was running in this way, and the water entered for this hole, connected with the other hydraulic systems. As you can see here, we can see many holes as well. That I told you that it was part of the decoration. In this case, the hydraulic system and canals connection, it was very important in Tiwanaku. This is the reason why you will see many holes with blocks, in this case, canals, the rest of canals, that is part of the hydraulic system connections in Tiwanaku. Part we can see part of the excavations in the top of the pyramid of Akabana. As you can see here, only in this part the archaeologists they found the rest of the original floor, the top of the pyramids. As you can see the stones in the lower part, you can see the rest of the stairs, some steps there, many blocks that was found here. You can see everywhere there's the rest of blocks that was part of the only in this part. So we can imagine if the excavations in this area can show us many rest of block that was part of the structure, we need to imagine how big is the pyramid and in this case we need to try to understand these excavations are representing probably the 20% of this pyramid, and we need to see the rest of this pyramid. We can see only the 20% of the Pumapunku in this case.
So pyramid is surrounding area?
It's surrounding.
Underneath.
Yes, exactly. And underground, in this case, we can see the rest of the hydraulic system, like canals.
Yeah.
But we can see these canals from the other north and south part of the pyramid.
So water comes from Titicaca Lake?
Yes. We are 20 kilometers near to the lake. At that point we can see the rest of one bench. In this case, in the Tiwanaku's time, there are many benches in different points of these areas where they could take a rest in this ceremonial part of Tiwanaku. In this case, of Pumapunku, we can see the lower part, the rest of blocks that was part of the main entrance of this pyramid. The rest of the stairs, in this case, are in the lower part here. We are around 5 meters high in this moment. This pyramid, it was divided in 3 platforms or 3 levels, and we are in the west part of the pyramid. From here, 20 kilometers is the Titicaca Lake. We are near to the Titicaca Lake. In one specific time, the superficie of the Titicaca Lake, it was bigger than now. So we have to use the imagination. In one specific time, the lake was until here. Pumapunku, in this direction, it was connected with the Titicaca Lake. So we need to imagine boats arriving here in Pumapunku. It was the main port connected with the Titicaca Lake to enter to the ceremonial temples of Tiwanaku.
Ancient ziggurat shape 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. This may be the top of the Pumapunku temple, maybe ziggurat. And Titicaca Lake used to be big up till here. So this Pumapunku was also used as a harbor, port. So Pumapunku had a lot of water supply from Lake Titicaca, west side about 20 kilometers away from here.
They used to join the blocks using the adenture copper clamps. As you can see here, we can see the shape of these clamps. The Tiwanakus, they use these clamps to join the blocks. Part of the hydraulic system of this pyramid. In this case, aqueducts that they use to drain the excess of water coming to the central part of the pyramid. This water was running out in this area. In this case, those blocks are perfectly joined, as you can see there, and we can see the rest of holes that with this shape that it was for the clamps. Part of the blocks that we can see in Pumapunku, some of them, not all of them, they have designs, no, like drawings. In this case, the circles that we can see here, or the snake that we can see in this part, they have relation with astronomy.
So is this a solar system?
Probably it can be a solar system, yes. Usually the Tiwanakus, they used to study the position of the stars, and they used to find images in the stars. So for them, they are representing different things in the drawings in the stones. This one is the Katari. Katari, it means snake. For that reason, probably they found the position of the stars, in this case in the sky, and they find the shape of the snake there, and they draw in the stones.
This is the north part of the pyramid.
The north part, yes, exactly. The north part, as we can see, it looks like more like this destroyed. We are in the south part of the pyramid of Pumapunku. According to some archaeologists, it's probably that one meteorite impact with the Titicaca lake in this point generate a tsunami. The tsunami impact with this part of this face of the Pumapunku pyramid. This is the reason why the west and part of the north part of the pyramid are in very bad conditions. But the south part of the pyramid, in this case, as you can see, is in a better condition. We can see how perfectly the blocks are joined. As you can see here, we don't have a space with a paper there. It's blocks perfectly joined. The technique that they use to build this pyramid, it's more efficient. Look at this stone here, perfectly cut in 90 grades. In this case, one block was perfectly joined in this point. You can see the blocks are perfectly cut in and very well designed.
So there's no nail, something to join together.
Yes, usually, as I told you, they use clamps.
Yeah, clamps.
Clamps to join this. But in this case, in this part of the pyramid, in the levels, we can see they use the blocks perfectly joined to the other ones.
Ooh. Here is the south entrance to the pyramid. This is not affected much, so we can see a good structure here. The one level there. It's so big here.
Part of the canals coming to the central part of Tiwanaku. As you can see there, the blocks perfectly join. The inclination, in this case, is decline, no, more, about 30 degrees in this point. And here we can see another rest of canal here in this part. This is another connection of the hydraulic system of this pyramid. Pumapunku couldn't be totally finished. This is the reason why we can see the rest of blocks that the Tiwanakus were working to put in the part of the structure of this pyramid. There are some spaces without stones, so we can see the rest of stones that they were working here to put there. We can see the rest of 3 gates. In the left side is one gate there, another gate in the central part here, and the last one that is broken as well, we can see there. Those gates were over these platforms that we can see here. So the gates were here over the platforms, waiting the first rays of the sun. We are in the east side, so the first rays of the sun every day are coming in this way. So those gates, they have to be aligned for solstice and equinoxes. In this case, those gates were part of the ceremonies as well. No? The ceremonies and rituals that have relation with solstice and equinoxes. Case, in the last part in our visit in Pumapunku, we can appreciate part of the north part of the pyramid. As you can see, perfectly blocks are joined there, part of the second level, second platform of this pyramid. It's one excavation in this case that can show us the border of the north part of the pyramid. Unfortunately, many blocks of this part of the pyramid are everywhere, so are not in a very good conditions like in the south part of the pyramid.
So, what is a Pumapunku? I've seen the entire part of Pumapunku. Looks like it's a holy temple, pyramid, a ziggurat pyramid. There are 3 steps, and this is the top part of it. And there are 3 gates. And then there are some structures all associated with the sun. And this is a worshipping area. There is no residential area. People come to this Pumapunku pyramid temple to worship the sun god, probably. Maybe Viracocha god. So this is the holy site. But who gave the knowledge of this site, how to build a structure? Maybe God or aliens, we don't know. So mysteries remain as mysteries. This is Pumapunku, Bolivia.
We can see the big eyes.
Yes.
The big eyes are because they used to consume hallucinogenic drugs. It's representing the dilatation of the eyes. We can see tears, like crying. The tears are representing the winged men around the body, some of them with the condor heads looking up. Some of them, the winged men with the wings here, and the llamas, as you can see the head of llamas. Many different details in the crowns and scepters that they are keeping. But as I told you, we don't know exactly the meaning of this. We are going to start to visit the ceremonial part of Tiwanaku. We are going to visit Acapana pyramids. We have to visit the Kala Sasaya temple, and we will visit the semi-subterranean temple. We saw the pyramid of Pumapunku. In this case, according to the archaeologists, Pumapunku was built between 800 to 1000 years after Christ. Now, so we will see now the temples that was built around 300 years until 600 years after Christ. In different points of this ceremonial area, we can see the rest of bricks, blocks. All of them in one specific time, they were part of the temples of Tiwanaku, part of the pyramids or the other temples. Unfortunately, after the earthquakes here, those temples and the rest of the pyramid collapsed. So we can see the rest of blocks that was part of these temples. And during the Republic time, during the colonial time, many bricks from this area were looting to build other churches, bridges, and houses.
Hola, hola. Masayo is speaking to the world. This is Tiwanaku temple. This is the megaphone of the temple. Please enjoy. Hasta la vista.
We are now in the Acapana pyramid. In this case, we are in the west part of the pyramid. Acapana, originally it had 7 platforms.
Acapana pyramid. For me, it's like a ziggurat steps pyramid. I can say only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Originally, this is 7. I can see many 7 steps of the pyramids in the world. So this must be a very holy place. It's a amazing structure, still under renovation.
They used to put and prepare the body to put inside the spaces that we can see in the walls here. Those are like sarcophagus, areas where they used to put the mummies there. Unfortunately, during the colonial time, somebody looting the rest of these bodies that was in this area. It was like a cemetery for them, for kings and governments in this case.
So this is a sarcophagus
Sarcophagus, yes.
place.
Unfortunately, those sarcophagus are destroyed. Those were like spaces where they used to put the bodies here.
Oh, here.
To put the bodies, it was closed, and it was like a small door here.
Yes.
That way we can see the rest of bodies here. They have like a gate here. They can close and move it. We can see this is a fraile, the name of this monolith. If you can see clearly, the eyes are very big ones. We were talking about that they used to consume hallucinogenic drugs using different kind of plants. In the hands, the monolith is keeping in one hand one keru, and in the other hand he's keeping a tool where they used to prepare the hallucinogenic drugs. In the belt we can see kind of crabs, not snakes or like we saw in the other rest of monoliths. It's different, the belt in this monolith. In the circles in the pants, we can see the face of the native fish of the Titicaca lake. As you can see, there are many circles, but in the circles there are the drawings of the face of the native fish of this Titicaca lake. The name is Karachi. In this case we can see big eyes as the same as the other monoliths, representing the consumed hallucinogenic plants. As you can see, it's crying, you can see tears, and the hands are keeping two objects, the kerub and the other one the scepter. And in the belt in this case we can see snakes with a fish and condor heads, and the circles in the pants. The monolith, the material is the andesite. The quarry of this material is around 60 kilometers from here. In this part of the Kalasasaya temple, we can see the rest of 7 rooms. In these rooms, the priests, Tiwanaku's priests, they used to meditate before to start out their rituals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The number 7 again, representing in the rooms or habitaculos in this part of the temple.
Hello, this is Kalasasaya Temple, standing stone temple. There is a monolithic stone here, statue representing the priest. There are many different types of rock formations here.
We are in the altar, in the main altar of Kalasasaya. In this point, every winter solstice, equinoxes, in this case, are celebrating by the people, the Bolivian people, the presidents, Bolivia's presidents, and local people and tourists are coming here to wait the first rays of the sun in June 21st, the Aymara's New Year. We can see the rest of platforms are broken. That was the original floor of this temple. The rest of rocks are thrown everywhere, so it's impossible nowadays to reconstruct this part of the temple. We can appreciate the rest of fragments of this platform that was part of Kalasasaya.
Sun temple, Miracocha God. There are wings, gods here.
We are in the east part of the Kalasasaya temple, and we can see the original entrance of this temple. If you can see, we have 7 steps, and in this case the standing stones, the columns, are in the original position. Okay, we are in the semi-subterranean temple. In this case, the archaeologists, they found one of the most important monoliths in Tiwanaku. In 1932, in that excavation, they discovered the monolith that is called Bennett or Pachamama, weighing more than 18 tons, and it was together with other 3 monoliths that we can see here. All of them, they were laid down and underground. In front of us we can see 3 important monoliths. The first one is Kontiki, the only one that we can see that it has a mustache. And around this temple we can see totally 175 heads in the walls. All of them are representing different ethnic groups that was part of the Tiwanaku Empire.
The sculptures of governors and priests in the region. There are many faces here. I found many different faces here, but this white one looks like not human. Maybe the alien, or white, or gray. It's good to see different face look like an alien. This is Tiwanaku, Bolivia. This is Akapana pyramid, on top of the pyramid, and also there's a place for astronomical observatory.
We are in Cantadallita. In this case, according to the archaeologists, this place, it was a workshop, a place where people, the Tiwanakus, they were carving and preparing different shapes and sizes of blocks sent for the construction of different temples. We will see many blocks, in this case in the pyramid. The blocks were part of the Andes Cross, the Sanka temple in the top of the pyramid. Unfortunately, the Andes Cross, the shape of this part of the pyramid, is destroyed because in the colonial time, the Spanish, they tried to find gold in this area. This is the reason why we can see many blocks are broken, because they tried to find the rest of gold in this part of the pyramid. We can find the model stone. The model stone is a temple. The Tiwanaku, they used to prepare a model, in this case before to start to build one temple. We can see the rest of stairs in different points. It was like a Sanka temple. This is a structure of one model of Tiwanaku's temple. You can see the carving in the stone with the 3 steps. The three steps are representing always the heaven, earth, and underworld.